Hello, my honeys. This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle, and this is another channeled message. This is the full moon when I'm recording this, but do consider it timeless. Whenever you hear it, there are messages here for you. I decided to do something a little different. I am going to give a general message first, which may be confined to some things that are happening at this current moment, globally, societally. Is that a word? Societally? It's sounding weird in my mouth. But before all that, welcome. Welcome back, subscribers. Thank you so much for your support of this channel. I really do appreciate it. I love reading your comments. I love connecting with you. And if you are brand new here, I'm Kamara. I'm a psychic medium. I channel spirit. I channel my ancestors. And I channel the ancient divine feminine Sibyls, all who sit at the feet of spirit. So these messages are meant to be for the collective. And often they are symbolic. Sometimes they're not. They're just very direct. But overall, please only take what resonates. And sometimes there are messages that zero in on a few people, and then there's messages that kind of zoom out. I gotta tell you the conditions in which I've decided to do this reading, well, channeled message. I do include some cards here, but I also brought out my cowrie shells. And there's something very interesting that happened right before I pressed record, which was I got a news alert that our current president, Biden, has decided to step down and fully endorse his female vice president, Kamala Harris. I find this very interesting. Kamala Harris is where I'm from, the San Francisco Bay Area, and yeah, she's had her own political experiences. But I was curious to see from Spirit what Spirit's thoughts were on this. So I brought out my cowrie shells. I brought out 4 of them. And when I threw them, I kind of mixed them up in my hands and asked the question. And I'll do this live so that you all could see it one day. But when I asked the question, 3 of them were face down and 1 was faced up. And I did that twice, and it's the same configuration. And in my mind, I believe that for the most part, the outlook is not so good for her, but there is something that says she may end up winning, my guides are saying, on a technicality, or she may end up winning because of some weird or odd event or condition that happens. So you let me know. Come back later and be like, Kamara, you were wrong. Kamara, you were right. But that is what I see and sense from Spirit. Mainly, my guides have been saying that people will argue that she doesn't have enough authority energetically, nor is she creative. And I think that people may say that they're just not sure about who she is. So that's just what my guides are saying. I'm just saying that my guides are saying that's what they will try, her competitors will try to bring forward. So it will be important for her, and maybe you are some degrees of separation from her and you'll let her know what my guides are saying. It will be important for her to establish those things, to be stand out, to be different from what we have been experiencing in these last few years in terms of politicians. But enough on that, because you may not even be from the United States and you may not even care if you are from the United States. But let's go to the general message here. And wow, Spirit has had so many messages. This weekend, I had to take a couple of days away because of just some social gatherings I needed to attend. And I also have some projects I'm working on. So let's clear the air for the collective general message. And then we have 4 groups after that. And yeah, the timestamps will be in the description box below. Okay, my honeys. So, the general message, even though this is timeless, you all, there's something about the full moon energy that my guides are bringing my attention to. This full moon is in Capricorn. And yeah, just as I expected, the Father card came out. And I have been hearing this from my guides in spirit for some time now, even before elections, that you all need to understand something about authority. Because the Father in a patriarchal society holds authority. And for some time, you know, at least the country I'm in, they say things like our founding fathers, our founding authority, and how it may translate to you in this as the general collective is that we are shifting from an outward father-like authority to an inner authority. This full moon in this present moment happens to be in Capricorn, which fits that image. We're looking at how we decide to hand over our authority, and should we continue to hand it over in the ways that we have been doing it, quite unquestioning in many ways. And so authority will come up as a question for the collective. Who has the authority? Where does my own inner authority work in this situation of community and society and government and politics, or in non-politics? Just how does it fit with how I'm living and navigating life? Perhaps Spirit is saying here, we have, as a collective, outgrown a model of where there is a king on the throne. The Peacekeeper card came out in reverse. And I'm not surprised, because collectively, this may put us on edge. It's a kind of change we have been foreboding, Spirit is saying, a change that we have not felt very comfortable seeing it coming. We're all seeing it coming, but we're not comfortable with it. And we're grasping for straws, because if we claim authority, each and every person in our collective, if we all tapped into our own inner authority, guess what? That makes us responsible. It's so easy to elect someone or to put someone in charge in our lives, at our jobs, in our governments, because then we can complain. They're not doing the right thing. Yeah, we voted for them, but it was not, we didn't get what we thought we heard we were going to get. But guess what? When you're operating from your own inner authority, you ultimately feel that responsibility, right? And when you are operating from that inner authority in decision making, when it comes down to the most fragile members of our society, to those who are the most powerful, we begin to understand that every decision we make, every place where we put our opinion, where we put our belief, has an outcome. And that outcome is part of the sacred decision that we are making. I forget what specific indigenous group in the North Americas practice this, but they would say every decision affects 7 generations. So they were very careful within their own society, within their own community, to look at the outlook 7 generations down the line for any community decision they made, maybe even a personal decision they made. They looked 7 generations forward before even taking on a decision or an idea. Spirit is saying here that it is time for us as a collective to put our hands into the soil. We have the gardener card here. It's time as a collective, a global collective, to get our hands dirty. That's an expression of like, yeah, you've got to put yourself in the game now. You've got to be willing to not only use your hands, but use the proper tools so that we can plant seeds for the future, so that we can cultivate the kind of societies that we want to live in the future. Is it one big global society, or is it a multitude of societies that operate within the same confines of honoring humanity and all the sentient beings on this earth? During this time, my guides are saying that many of us are awakening to our celestial ancestors, the voice of our celestial ancestors. And please put it in the comments if you feel that this is you. Because I feel like many of the people that listen to my channeled messages, I feel that you are part of my psychic siblings. But Spirit is saying here that as we awaken to our celestial beginnings, way out there in the stars, where our souls and our spirits and our atoms and our cells landed on this beautiful, lush, abundant planet and began our lives here in the flesh. Spirit is pointing to this part of us that is reawakening to that deep beginning that's way, way, way out in the celestials. I'm being reminded of a video that somebody created. It was kind of like a computerized version, but it would start with the earth and it would expand out into space and our solar system. And then it would expand even further and further and further until we realized with this visual that we're just a tiny dot in the entire galaxy. And it makes things clear in terms of perspective. I may try to find a way to show that or at least link to it. Remind me if I don't. Sometimes I forget when I'm channeling what I'm saying. I'm gonna post again, but I'll find the link. I'll write it down right now. Link to Galaxy. And I'll put it in the description box. Yeah. Spirit, when I just turned over this card, Master Ancestor DNA. This is the master key. This is the one that opens all the doors. This is the DNA that we all share. The one that scientists have linked to one species, that we all share the same DNA, regardless of how we look, where we're from. We all share this one master DNA. And knowing that we're kindred, how is it that we all are vibrating a little differently? Spirit is saying here that is shifting. It's all coming together. Where it may seem that there's a lot of different opinions, different kinds of people with different kinds of ways of living, Spirit is saying it is for sure starting to shift into one strand of energy. And that is why we are feeling, in many ways, some of the resistance that's happening right now with communities coming together. Because there are energies that are still dedicated to duality and separation. But we all know that in order to become one, we have to surrender to the idea that we have been separate for too long. And we have to really dive into knowing ourselves at the individual level. A kind of deep knowing that in the end, when you surrender, it doesn't feel like a loss. It doesn't feel like a betrayal to your soul. Because you know what you're surrendering to now. Spirit says, at least the beings on this earth, they have a deep destiny. But right now they're trying to make it through their fate. They're trying to make it through the fate that they have landed into. And so that has been our work right now. It's to dive deeply into your destiny. As you do that, you're going to find your connections with others are deepened. And it just goes from there. I'm going to pull a spirit number. Spirit's pointing me to some kind of number here. 2112. Without reading it, Spirit is saying that it's going to be an important year. I don't think I'll be on the planet then, but maybe you will. 2112. And guess what it says? I love Spirit. It says it's up to you. Someone watching over you, good fortune, unforeseen forces, direction. Even if it seems like you are not making any meaningful progress, things are moving in the right direction. If you see this number, 2112, it's a sign that everything will work out in your favor and your dreams will come true. I love it. So let's see if there is I think I'm going to just leave that as the final message. Should I leave that as the final message, Spirit? Spirit saying take one more card here. Okay, we'll take one more card here, and this will be the final message for the general collective. Thank you for listening. It says here, perhaps you are reminded all too often just how quickly the phases in your life can shift. One change after another, you are learning to adapt and grow. Be kind and gentle with yourself. So, collective, all of this has fit, right? We are now understanding as a collective of human beings that we are the master gardeners. Not one person, not one party, not a particular sector of people. We are the master gardeners. And we must put our hands into the soil. We must plant the seeds with our hands. We must get our hands muddy and dirty. We must kneel down into the earth, and we must whisper our greatest dreams into those seeds, and then watch over them, protect them. Make sure that no one comes and tramples on them. Make sure they get enough sun, and water. If we have to add a little mineral, make sure we do that. Because this part in our chapter, Earthlings, is very important. Okay, I am going to chime us out, and we will move to group number 1. Group number 1. Hello, it's Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle. One moment, I think I'm going to sneeze. Hello, group number 1. I realized that my mic was not on the right setting for the general message. So we will see how clear that is with just the computer's mic. Sorry about that. But now we have all the groups. So either that's Spirit's way of saying the general message didn't need to be there if it doesn't sound good, or the general message is quite distinctive from what the groups are about to hear, which is highly probable, right? So thank you for joining me, group number 1. This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle, and this is about a wealth message from your guide of Opulence. What is interesting is, even though this is a timeless channeled message, we are on the full moon in Capricorn when I am receiving this download. And as you know, Capricorn is very much about our foundation. Capricorn speaks very much about what it is, those talents, those skills, that knowledge base that brings us to our ability to establish goals, to generate wealth. So this energy right now, it's calling in these channeled messages because Spirit is saying here, group number 1, that your material life is going to become the focus from this moment to, let me get the number here, we're in August. For the next 5 months, Spirit is saying that 5 months, things are going to change drastic for you on the material level. And I'm hearing in a very positive way. But Spirit is saying it will be in a positive way if you listen to this message. For some of you, if you do not heed it, or if you do not listen to some divine guidance that you're getting, whether it's this channeled message or some other, you may end up not where you really want to be 5 months from now. Let me take a sip of tea. Okay. So group number 1, let me ask Spirit what cards we are going to begin with. What's the opening message for group number 1, Spirit? And I'm sorry, I have a little bit of sniffles. I feel now like I must have some psychosomatic thing. Every time I'm in a group of people, and I had to be in a group of people yesterday, I'm so worried about getting sick. Well, COVID's going around again, and just in general, I've been fighting some kind of cold off and on, and I don't know why. I feel like it's back. Okay. It could be allergies, actually. I'm living in a completely different place, and I don't recognize my body's symptoms to the environment, and I think it's allergies, actually, when I think about it, because a friend texted me their experience this morning, so I think that's what it is. Okay, back to you. So group number 1, wow, this is related to the general message, so if you skipped over it, or I don't know, hopefully it comes out sound-wise. Group number 1, in your wealth message has to do with what you are seeding now. SEEDING. What are you planting right now? Where are you in your garden? Your garden being your environment, your garden being your world, your garden being your soul and your spirit, your garden being your community. Where are you right now? Spirit is saying they want you to put the GPS on yourself. Where are you located? What are you doing? How are you working with others? How are you being in this environment? Where are your hopes and your dreams and your desires fitting with your garden? Are you planting with intention? Because Spirit is saying here that it's in these next few, for the rest of the year, when I'm filming this, but it could be any time really, so we'll say the next 5 months, your ingenuity, something that you have an idea around, something that you're like, that would be a cool thing to do. It's more than that. It's the thing you must do, because it is your path to wealth. Your guide here, they're saying that this thought that you have, it is so different that you would be considered a little bit of a rebel, someone on the outside, if you took it on. Because right now you may be in a circle or a community or a career field where people are kind of sticking to the basics. They're sticking to what has already been established. And group number 1, you have an idea that would take them kind of in literal terms, Spirit is saying, rip them out of their conformity into a place where they really desire to be. Some of you are in a career field where everybody complains about it all the time. The systems around it, rather. Not the work necessarily, but it's some kind of governing system that has to do with your career field. It could be in the place that you actually work, if we want to get more detailed. It could be an organization you're a part of. It could even be, for some of you, your family. There is something you're involved in that's 3 or more in terms of human beings. 3 or more human beings are involved. And it's a place where conventionality no longer works. I hope that's a word, you all. Sometimes Spirit gives me the words and I say it and I'm like, is that a word, Spirit? Spirit's like, listen, you're in charge of translating. So that's a big part of this group number 1 for you. And let's go to, I don't know, Spirit still wants me to use this ancestor deck. Okay. Yeah. Group number 1, sometimes we'll sit here in an environment, and those of us that are creative will just kind of be like, why do we do things this way? Why is it like this? And maybe, you've gotten in trouble for asking those kind of questions, group number 1. People are like, it's just the way it is, okay? And group number 1, yeah, some of you are in a profession that has caregiving as a part of it. That could be anywhere from nursing to a therapist of some sort, even a doctor. Caregiving can be like a wide range thing, but there's some kind of, some of you are in a profession where you support other people, but you're seeing something about the way that you support people and you're just like, why is it that, and it could be a systemic thing, like, there's a system or protocols in place and you're like, why are we operating with these protocols? Why are we doing it like this? And so group number 1, your wealth guide, because these guides came through as highly opulent. I mean, these guides, I'm hearing that old saying from that supermodel, Linda Evangelista. I think it was her that said it back in the day. She's like, I don't even roll out of bed for less than $10,000. And you know what? Some people really was offended by that. But when I heard it, it was saying underneath, there's just some things that are not worth my time. And because I have self-worth, I know what that is. I know that I can get what I desire. And until that time, I will rest. Until that time, I will do the things that I always wanted to do. There's something here, group number 1. Yeah, you're getting some of the same cards that we got in the general reading. It's time for you to establish your own inner authority. So Linda Evangelista's comment was channeled correctly. It wasn't just me remembering. It's like, yeah, what are you rolling out of bed for right now? Is it meeting your needs? Or is it strictly just serving the needs of others? Is there reciprocity there? Because Spirit is saying here, your own inner authority is telling you that you don't need to do things the way other people have done it. I've gotten this other card. I just got this card, Rhythm Maker, twice. I've seen it twice, and it's been in reverse twice. And I think I'm getting what Spirit is saying here. You have to step out of the rhythm of conventionality. God, these words. You need to step out of that rhythm. There is something, a different part, Spirit is saying, a different part of the river you need to step in. Even though the river appears to be the same as it goes down the stream, right? It's not. When you take your foot out and you step into it again, it's a different river, has different components, it's different waters. And Spirit is saying here, group number 1, that you can still be of something, but you do not have to do it the way others are doing it. Some of you are very good at your craft. And this is what Spirit is talking about, your craft, your skills, your knowledge. But you're kind of just right now in the moment, Spirit is like, you're kind of doing what everybody's doing, and you see, literally, you're getting downloads, group number 1, about how to do something differently. And yes, well, all of these cards, not all of them, but a good many of them are coming from the general message, which is you are the master gardener now, group number one. What you say, the plants, the seeds that you plant, the seeds that you choose to get your hands dirty with and put into the earth and collaborate with the earth are the ones you need to cultivate. Others may not have that same mission, Spirit is saying, but you do, group number one. And Spirit, how is this? What else do you have to say about this? Because Spirit is saying here that is going to be your road to wealth. It says if you're feeling confused by events that are unfolding around you that seem contradictory, you are going to receive some kind of message coming your way that's of clarity. Trust your instincts and do what this message is telling you to do. Like, it can even be what you're listening to right now, which is telling you to move beyond the norm. You have a lot that you will learn when you do this. And this new direction in your life, it's going to be the one that is wealth building for you. Regardless, Spirit is saying, regardless of economies, regardless of what people are saying is in your bank account, everything, Spirit is saying, none of this is about that, group number one. It is like right now, you being different, you being the outlier is going to get you success. And Spirit is saying, do not lose sight of this truth. You came here to evolve and grow. It is necessary for you to have these experiences, even in difficult times, even when people are saying you can't do it this way, or you're not authorized to do it this way, or that will fail. You can't listen, group number one, because there's a light at the end of the tunnel that only you were meant to see at this moment. So be proud of your journey. Be very proud of it. Spirit is saying one more card from this deck. Yeah. Go back to the heart of who you truly are. There you're going to find the peace. So you're going to look at your life in its entirety and acknowledge any old wounds and release them. Because these wounds, group number one, they are the ones that are kind of keeping you in self-doubt. They are the ones that have you like listening to other people. When your strength is really coming from a renewed sense of confidence. So you got to find that confidence. That's what Spirit is saying. When you connect with that new sense of confidence or your own divine inner authority, you are going to find, group number one, that the opulence is right before you. The number you need to be looking for, or some of you may be seeing right now, is 666. And it says here, reflect. So it says love, affection, compassion, kindness, attention, self-love. Self-love is sticking out for me right here. It says several unexpected developments will enter your life and impact how you feel. This is a chance to reevaluate your identity. You need a mental shift towards greater optimism, self-assurance, and trust. Put your faith in your gut and your inner voice. Pay attention to your feelings and use them to help you to become a better person. Group number one. Okay? Okay? So, group number one, this is what I have for you. This is your road to beautiful, sustainable opulence. And your guide is saying, it all like pay attention to how you're feeling now, but also look at the synchronicities of events that are happening around you. Because you're going to know you're in this energy. You're going to know when everybody's kind of like, why are you different? That's going to be your key. That's your master key. That's your cue to get on stage. However you're seeing this, the group number one, that's going to be it. Okay, group number one, if you resonated with any or parts of this channeled message, can you please give me a thumbs up? It really helps me grow this brand new channel. And I appreciate you so much. I feel like your messages are inspiring and teaching me as I'm receiving them. And so I'm going to chime you out. If you feel like you want to stay connected and you haven't subscribed yet, here's an invitation to subscribe so that you can get more of these messages and are notified about them. Click that bell. Take care, my honeys. Hello, group number two. This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle, and welcome to your channeled message on a wealth message from your guide of opulence. When I received these avatars, they came through looking so elegant, so, how do I want to say, high level in their energy, in their illumination. And they said they have a wealth message for you, group number two, because they're sharing that this has always been where you belong. This is your roots. So, group number two, your avatar is saying you come from a lineage of wealth, an ancient lineage of wealth. And if your life isn't demonstrating that right now, it's because you need to reconnect to that lineage, that cosmic lineage. And so this message is timeless, but I got to tell you, I'm receiving the channeled message on the full moon in Capricorn. And Capricorn is about that success, that life we wish to build our wealth in, the intention, the goals that we set, our consistency and our commitment. So, group number two, let's get the opening message for you in terms of your wealth from your guide of opulence. Wow. So your guide is pointing to innocence, the purity of your values and where you stand, group number two. Especially when it comes to coexisting, I'm hearing. Coexisting with different people, different species, even coexisting with the earth. And understanding, and I know you hear it maybe often, that we are one. But your guides are pointing to your wealth having that energetic theme, coexisting, connection with people, things, environments that are different from where you were born or raised, or even where you live now. Yeah, we have the Earth card here. So for some of you, this is specifically around the environment, around our ecosystem. There is something about you nurturing in a life-giving way with plants, So you might be helping people heal with plants. You may be supporting people through their healing process as they take these plants. You may be connecting with different species in nature and really protecting the innocent, protecting the purity of the Earth's ecosystem, I'm hearing. Your guides are saying that you should lean in more to using your imagination. Lean in more to your story. There's a story of yours that needs to be told, because that story lets those around you know how you got here, how you got to this place, how you got to the place of protecting the innocent, protecting what is pure and good. How did you get here? Because Spirit is saying that hasn't always been where you were located. Somehow you took a journey. You changed something, group number 2. You allowed a part of yourself to burn as the phoenix. I'm getting the imagery of the phoenix. You know, like you allowed yourself to like burn in that fire, that old you. And what emerged anew was somebody different. Somebody who felt deep connection now with everything that used to seem foreign around them. Now you are quite intimate with your environment. Now you are quite intimate with the community that you are in. Even if it's different from the one you were born into, you have such a deep respect for it. You give and you honor and you feel honored to be a part of this community. And if it hasn't happened, Spirit is saying there's on a spectrum. It's in the works. Yeah. So your guides of opulence are saying, group number 2, that your writing about this experience, your storytelling of this experience will lead you to great wealth. Someone is on the beginnings of writing about their experiences. Others haven't maybe even thought about it. But Spirit is saying there are quite truly some gems in your life experience that people need to know about. In fact, they want to know about it because it will help them tremendously on the path they're on right now. So your guide of opulence is saying you were dropped into this earth and this timeline because you were meant to share the gold, I'm hearing, of your cosmic inheritance, group number 2. And that's coming through as your story. It's coming through as the words that you will use to express what you have been through in this juicy lifetime. That's what they're saying. It's called a juicy lifetime. You have had a juicy lifetime. I'm laughing. But, you know, your guides are saying you will truly be seen as a holy one when people understand and hear your story, group number 2. Despite your humbleness, it has been one of great victory. In fact, Spirit is saying sometimes you do not realize how skillfully you walked through that fire and you allowed those layers to burn off without scorching you, without turning you into dust. Some of you have been through something quite harrowing. And you may be seeing 3333, some forms of 3. And here is the message. Your guides are saying this has to do with your social skills, your hope, your optimism, your expression of liberation, your expression of success, even. It has to do with your prosperity. So we are confirming right now that this is your path, group number 2. They're saying this is where you have a lot of excitement and a lot of enthusiasm. When you tell this story, you're going to feel that way. It's not going to feel like a story of shame. It's not going to feel like a heavy story. It's going to be uplifting, even though it has very deep, shadowy parts to it. I see people with wet eyes when they're hearing your story, group number 2. I see some with their mouths totally open. You don't look like you've been through this. You don't look like a person who would have had this experience, whatever that is in their mind. It says here, the problems you have today will eventually disappear. Your guardian angels encourage you to maintain a positive outlook on life since your luck may be about to change. It's time to put to use your captivating energy. I'm hearing your captivating story, and inspirational personality. Don't let your ego get the best of you. Because our ego will say, anybody would have done what I did. Your ego will also say, because your ego is not only about boastful things, your ego could also be telling you, this was no big deal. Anybody would have done that. Anybody could do this. That's your ego too. And here's your message. You are right now. Where you are right now is where you're supposed to be. Don't compare yourself to others. That only adds pressure. Take each day as it comes and for what it is. You are a better person than you were yesterday. Growth isn't easy, but you got this. Wow. Group number 2. What an amazing life you have had thus far. And what spirit and your guides of opulence are showing me is you haven't seen anything yet. Some of you will be sitting at that laptop, kind of in a darker room, and you're just going to start where you're at. Start writing this story. Start telling this story. And Spirit said there, for a couple of you, it may not be exactly writing. You might be doing art to tell this story. For some of you, you may be, quote unquote, telling the story in your own unique way. But you will share the story. You will be a light for many. Spirit is saying, quite literally, some people are going to see you as a holy person. All right, group number 2, if you resonated with any or part of this channeled message, can you consider giving me a thumbs up? It's a way to support me and this brand new channel. If you like the way that I read and you haven't subscribed yet, here's your invitation. Please subscribe. And then you can click that bell. You'll get notified of new channeled messages when they are up, which is quite often. And group number 2, I feel very honored to have received that channeled message. Thank you, and thank your guides. We're now moving to group number 3. Welcome, group number 3. Wow, these channeled messages have been quite illuminating. And I feel very honored to receive these channeled messages. I feel like I'm tapping into some very powerful energies. So thank you for joining me, you all. If you are a subscriber, thank you for your continued support. If you're new here, please consider giving a thumbs up or subscribing if any or all of this resonates with you. So I am just shuffling the last deck of cards. And group number 3. This is a channeled message on a wealth message from your guide of Opulence. And when I received the avatars for these guides, they came out fresh as pearls. And your guide has this very interesting hair or vestige behind her. I don't know why I'm getting that word vestige, but and it's no gender implied actually, but just like this being is very mesmerizing, almost with like kind of octopus antenna or something behind the red hair. But again, you can use any of the avatars you want here, but group number 3, this is just the one that I'm connecting with right now. So let's go to your opening message from Spirit for group number 3. Group number 3's opening message. So group number 3, your guides are pointing to the master ancestor DNA and how you have adapted maybe over the years. Maybe because you have not always been, this is interesting. Your guys are showing me that you are a fairly new spirit from the cosmos on this earth plane. And so that this life for you, even though you may be an old spirit where you're from in terms of celestial, because they're saying you're a celestial being, but your incarnation on this earth is fairly new. And you have had to drop into a real, I'm seeing like a pattern of adaptation. Like you've been having to adapt to not only, I'm hearing to this earth body, you've had to adapt to the physical body that you're in. There's something about frequency, they're saying. Your frequency is boundless, and you should remember that because you are a warrior where you come from celestially. And you will find, and maybe you have found in group number 3, that there are times in your life where things get very confrontational with people. Yeah, I'm seeing this. And you've had to really protect yourself. And, I think a lot of this, you've learned that you've had to establish a great deal of boundaries. You had to learn that because this earth plane is very chaotic, they're saying. This earth plane is full of a lot of different energies from a lot of different parts of the galaxy, including earthlings. So you're always dealing with a little bit of chaos. And they said a major adaptation you had to really take on was creating boundaries for yourself, to be in your warrior energy, which was something you had to, or different timelines. Someone will be discovering this, is discovering this, or someone else has discovered this. They also are pointing to your creativity. They say that it's been so instrumental, or is instrumental in helping you to understand why these boundaries need to exist. Because for you, group number 3, without them, you're not able to do the work that you're here to do. Some of you are here to do something highly creative. It has to do with the mineral energy, which is that of, it's a grounded kind of approach to your art. Say more, Spirit. Yeah, you are here to do something creative that brings about a sense of groundedness and peace within people. This could be, and I'm getting a very specific channeled message for someone, you could sing light language, or you may think about doing that. You could have a very celestial voice. For others, it may be some kind of dance that you do. For others, there's some kind of way, I'm getting it's body oriented, movement oriented. There's some kind of way that you create from a body perspective, whether it's singing, voice, poetry, spoken word, or that's movement, dance. I'm seeing even like some kind of special yoga. There's something there, but it feels more creative than yoga, but there may be an aspect of yoga you're bringing forth as creative. I don't know, but there's something you are doing that's sparking aliveness in people. And you were actually sent to this earth to do it. Yeah, your gifts, group number 3, they literally will bring people out of their shadows. I really do see someone who sings very cosmic like music. It's kind of reminding me of, what's her name? It's a YouTube channel. Is it Priestess Sheba? Is it Priestess? I want to look it up because her voice, if you haven't heard her voice, she is amazing, you all. I can just listen to her stuff all the time. I'm sorry, I have the door open to my to my complex, so somebody's driving in. So sorry if there's a lot of background noise. Is it Princess Sheba? Songstress Sheba? Oh goodness, what was her name? I think I'm not going to find it because the word is eluding me right now. But either way, group number 3, if you are compelled to sing, maybe to even harmonize, I don't get that what you're saying or singing is actually words. I mean, words that we speak in our regular language. I think it's some kind of light language, some kind of otherworldly language. I think it might be combined with sound healing instruments. I don't know. I must be seeing someone very specific. Either way, group number 3, you may be seeing 222. And it says here, alignment, connections, friendship, romantic relationships, family ties, balanced life choices, compromise, commitment, trust. It says, how do you move forward towards your life's true calling? Okay, group number 3, do what makes you happy. Your enthusiasm is what keeps you going. Follow your interests if it is piqued by something. Following these routes will help you discover your life's true purpose. Group number 3, some of you are sitting on a creative gold mine. And this is the wealth message from your guides of opulence. You were meant to express in this creative way. And when you do, you will have the masses feeling so serene, so at peace, so healed. Group number 3. For many of you, this is your voice, but if it isn't your voice, it's your artwork, it's something else. I mean, if you were attracted to group number 2, it could even be your writing. But for me, I'm thinking more on the idea that this is your voice or some kind of dance. Let's see what else Spirit has to say here. Don't allow anyone to abuse your power or take it away from you. Remember, you will be treated how you allow others to treat you. Show them that you value yourself far too much to settle for anything less than what you deserve. For some of you, Spirit is saying here that it's going to be so important to cultivate this from a place of your own power, your own divine inner authority. Don't give it away. Don't let people judge it or tailor it or say it needs to look this way or sound this way. No, Spirit is saying you have this raw talent. And it's also saying look past what you feel are your incapabilities. Instead, focus on everything you've achieved so far. It's okay to acknowledge your weaknesses, but keep in mind they do not define you. Your strength, your beauty, your soul are clear for all to see. For some reason, I keep feeling like there's some kind of energy of resistance to you moving this way. Maybe this is why some of you in group number 3, just some of you, have not moved on this talent. You're being told to accept where you are at this moment in time. Only then you can begin to move forward. Be clear about your intentions. This makes it easier for us and the universe to help you. The door will be open unexpectedly. Be ready. You know, there's a few energies like this in this entire channeled message where your success is coming in a way that's unexpected. Group number 3. It might be that you're just humming and singing one day and somebody's like, whose voice is that? It might be that you decide to do, just a small little open mic and somebody's like, what the hell? Who is this? In a good way. and it's all to say that when you allow yourself to express in this way, your guide of opulence says that it will just quite literally rain down on you in golden drops, something you've just never expected would happen, something you just don't see coming. Group number 3. Okay, so group number 3. If you resonate with any or all of this message, can you please give me a thumbs up? It's a way that you can help me grow this brand new channel. And if you like the way that I channel messages and read tarot, there's other tarot readings on this channel, please consider subscribing and giving me a thumbs up. It just means that you will get notified when I upload new readings, which is pretty often. So group number 3, can you let us know below if you've already tapped into this beautiful voice of yours? What's your channel? What's your channel name? Like where are you on Spotify or Apple Music? Let us know. Because there's this gift of yours is about to glow up. I'm really seriously feeling that. Okay, group number 3. I feel honored to have channeled this message for you. Best of luck. I will see you in the next reading. Okay, we are moving to group 4. Take a little sip of tea. Wow. All of these groups have been very powerful, you all. So I'm just going to shuffle my cards and get them together. Group number 4, welcome to your channeled message. It's a wealth message from your guide of opulence. And these guides indeed, when the avatars came forward, I was like, whoa, what are we saying here? It was like the word instantly wealth turned up. So there's a lot here for all of the groups. Know that these are timeless readings, but I am recording on the full moon in Capricorn, so that might mean something to you. I think a lot of this Capricorn energy is very strong right now. So, yeah. Let's see. Group number 4. What is your message from your guide of opulence? Please know these are general messages. Please take only what resonates for you. Group number 4. Your guides are saying that you come from a long, I'm hearing long line of healers. Depending on your culture, they may have identified as shamans. If not shamans, they identified as medicine people. You come from such a long line of them that it's in your bones. Whether some of you have tried doing healing work on others or you haven't, and you decide, oh, maybe I'll take a class or maybe I'll learn this modality. You're going to find, group number 4, that when you learn this modality, it feels like deja vu. It feels like, I know this already. It feels like the concepts and if there's equations, everything comes easy to you. It's as if you had already taken this course or learned this work. And while other people stumble on all the different steps, it becomes so natural to you. You don't even recognize there are steps. And this is a part where your guides of opulence are saying, it's time for you to get your hands dirty. It's time for you to cultivate what this work of your ancestors, of your lineage, really means in terms of the offering. And to not just shape the offering as any old workshop that someone's doing. They're saying you have a uniqueness, a very deep uniqueness to the way that you approach this lineage medicine. So even if, because Spirit is showing me right now, group number 4, that even if you emerge in environments where you're supposed to be learning and you're kind of at the top of your class, Spirit is saying here, just be in the energy of learning for a while. Even though you know, Spirit is saying, even though you know a lot of this stuff, like you're finding that deja vu is not even deja vu. It's like actually like your knowledge. So Spirit is saying it's not time yet to share that piece though. Because a mentor is coming towards you. This could be a coach, a guide, but it's really like a mentor is coming towards you. And this person will recognize that you know this material from your soul level. And so when this mentor comes, you will study with this person. This person might live in an area where it snows and there's a lot of mountains, kind of like the Northeast or the Northwest even. This person might live by a river. They're old. They've got gray hair. This mentor. So I don't know if you know this person already or you will. You're going to find that a lot of the teachings that you learned from them, how they're guiding you, is out in nature. You will spend long moments with them in meditation along the rivers. And you'll learn how to listen to water in a specific way, I'm hearing. And when you learn how to listen to water in a specific way, you will gain some very important knowledge. Wow. So group number 4, yeah, some of this is hidden right now, and some of it you will hide. Not in the sense to manipulate people or keep things really from them. It's more of a sense of like your future development. It has aspects to it that just shouldn't be public right now. And Spirit is saying to me and has brought this up like earlier, and I guess it was for this group. There's a lot of jealous energy around you. Yeah, manipulative, jealous energy is around you, group number 4. And I think Spirit is just saying here, make sure that you protect this next part of your journey. It's not for other people to know. Because maybe you will be mentored by someone who's really well known, and that might get some people in a twist. Yeah. 3333 is the number you might be looking out for, a number that you are seeing. Another group had this number. But it's hope, optimism, liberation, success, prosperity, excitement, enthusiasm. The problems you have today will eventually disappear. Your guardian angels encourage you to maintain a positive outlook on life since your luck may be about to change. It is time to put to use your captivating energy and inspirational personality. Don't let your ego get the best of you. Yeah, there's a way where, and this might be just for a small group, where potentially because you've been so on the quote unquote top of your class or top of your learning experience, that you could just get it in your head, your ego could, that this is all you have to do. There's no further study involved. But when you meet this mentor, you're going to understand, group number 4, that no, this is only the first layer of what you need to begin to learn. And that this mentor is going to bring you through a process. But it doesn't mean that you are better than other people. It just means you're tapping into that divine, cosmic, ancient wisdom from a long time ago, group number 4. Excuse me. It says here, sit in silence for a moment and listen. The answers you've been seeking are finally coming to you. Truly trust and believe that you are going to make and be exactly where you need to be. You're on this journey with you. Hang in there. It's not much longer. So you're getting the message from your guides, group number 4. that meeting this mentor, deepening your studies or your knowledge or your wisdom, it's on its way. And there are people who are around you, group number 4, who sense that you are getting ready to take off. That this is not your permanent landing space, and that your talents are being wasted because there's no one who in your current environment can meet you with the energy that would help you to hone in these talents and skills. So that quite literally, spirit world is sending you a guide, a mentor in the flesh. It says here, what areas of your life that you're avoiding? Are they causing you upset, worry, disrupt sleep? Even so, these are areas you need to focus on. As much as you don't want it, it's necessary. Tackle your demons head on. Don't allow them to rule you for a second longer. Yeah, so if there's any doubts about how you want to utilize this kind of newfound medicine for yourself, it's important that you understand, group number 4, that you are your ancestors' wildest dreams. I don't think that they ever thought another healer would emerge within your bloodline. So I'm talking to someone, this is beyond your grandparents. It might be a grandparent for some people, but it's somebody older than your grandparents that may have been a healer. And they're wanting you to understand that this is not random for you. You were born to do this. But there may have been generations before you that didn't see the worth of this knowledge, that felt that they had to be in more modern, quote unquote, modern times. So they didn't bother to learn the intricacies. They kind of steered away from elders trying to teach them. And now you are finding, group number 4, that you are receiving downloads from your elders. And these downloads are what's making the information so crystal clear to you. But this mentor will come. This mentor will appear for you. This teacher will appear. And when they appear, spirit and your guides are saying, that is your path to opulence. and when they say wealth, you all don't have to be up there competing with, what's his name? Bill Gates or something. It's not always like that. Wealth can be happiness. Wealth can be inner peace. Wealth can be your own authority. But wealth is living the life you were meant to live, liberated and free. That is your wealth. So, group number 4. Wow. Beautiful work. And let me know. I'm nosy, you all. When I channel these messages, I want to know, who is this? So if you're inclined, put it in the comments if it resonates. And if you don't mind, if it resonates, any or part of this, could you give me a thumbs up, group number 4? If you like the way that I read and you haven't subscribed yet, this is your invitation to join me and this beautiful, powerful psychic community. We'd love to have you. And thank you for taking a listen. Thank you for giving me the honor to channel these messages for you, group number 4. Until my next reading or channeled message, take care, my honeys.